Hi, good day to Madam Fahana. My name is Siti Nabila binti Azrin, and today our group will be presenting about the Bitcoin. But before we discussing about the Bitcoin, it is important to understand what cryptocurrency is. Cryptocurrency is a digital or virtual currency that use cryptographic technology to secure transaction and verify ownership. Unlike traditional currency, cryptocurrency are decentralized, which means that they are not controlled by any central bank or the government. Besides that, cryptocurrency operate on blockchain technology, which record transaction and transparently through a distributed digital ledger. This technology allows users to make peer-to-peer transactions without relying on financial intermediaries such as banks. And the popularity of cryptocurrency is actually increased after the 2008 global financial crisis, when many people began searching for alternative financial systems that were more secure, transparent, and independent. Among the many cryptocurrencies that are available today, Bitcoin is the first successful cryptocurrency and remains the most widely recognized digital currency among the world. Next, I will be presenting about the history of the Bitcoin. So, the history of the Bitcoin began on October 2008 when Satoshi Nakamoto published a white paper titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. The paper introduced the concept of decentralized digital payment system that allows people to transfer money directly without the need for banks. And on January 2009, Bitcoin officially starts with the creation of the Genesis block, marking the launch of the Bitcoin network. Another important milestone occurred in May 2010 when 10,000 Bitcoins were exchanged for 2 pizzas. This event, known as Bitcoin Pizza Day, became the first documented real-world commercial transaction using Bitcoin. Since then, Bitcoin has gained global recognition and widespread adoption. Today, it is the world's largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization and has inspired the development of thousands of other cryptocurrencies.
Assalamualaikum and hi, I am Nurul Atika binti Matsani, and today I will explain how Bitcoin works, focusing on 3 main components such as Bitcoin transactions, Bitcoin mining, and blockchain technology. Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency introduced in 2008 by an anonymous person or group using the name Satoshi Nakamoto. Unlike traditional currencies, Bitcoins allow people to send and receive money directly without relying on banks or governments. Instead, it operates through a peer-to-peer network secure by cryptography and blockchain technology. Let's begin with the first component. The first component is Bitcoin transactions. A Bitcoin transaction is simply the transfer of Bitcoin from one digital wallet to another. Every Bitcoin wallet contains 2 important cryptography keys. The public key acts like a bank account number that others use to send Bitcoin to you, while the private key is like a secret password that allows you to authorize transactions. The private key must always remain confidential because it proves ownership of your Bitcoin. When a user sends Bitcoin, the transaction is digitally signed using the private key and then broadcast to the Bitcoin network. Before the transaction is accepted, thousands of network computers, known as nodes, verify several conditions. They check whether the sender has sufficient Bitcoin, whether the digital signature is valid, and whether the same Bitcoin has already been spent, which is known as the double spending problem. Once verified, the transaction enters a pool of pending transactions waiting to be processed by miners. After it is included in a block and added to the blockchain, the transaction receives its first confirmation. As additional blocks are added, more confirmations are received, making the transaction increasingly secure and practically irreversible. The second component is Bitcoin mining. Although the term mining sounds similar to mining gold or silver, Bitcoin mining does not involve physical excavation. Instead, miners use specialized computers with high computational power to solve complex mathematical puzzles. Bitcoin uses a consensus mechanism called Proof of Work or POW. Under this system, miners compete to solve a cryptographic hash puzzle. The first miner to solve the puzzle earns the right to add a new block of verified transactions to the blockchain. As a reward, the successful miner receives newly created bitcoins along with the transaction fee paid by users. Every new block is linked cryptographically to the previous block, creating a continuous chain of verified records. Once a block is added, the updated blockchain is shared with all participating nodes, ensuring that everyone has the same copy of the ledger. To maintain stability, the Bitcoin network is designed to generate approximately one new block every 10 minutes. The mining difficulty automatically adjusts depending on the total computing power in the network. If more miners participate, the puzzles become more difficult, preventing bitcoins from being created too quickly while maintaining network security. The third component is blockchain technology, which forms the foundation of the Bitcoin network. A blockchain is a decentralized digital ledger that permanently records every Bitcoin transaction. Instead of being stored in one central database, identical copies of the blockchain are distributed across thousands of nodes worldwide. Transactions are grouped into blocks, and each block contains a cryptographic reference to the previous block. This creates a chronological chain that is extremely difficult to alter. Another important feature of blockchain is transparency. Every confirmed Bitcoin transaction is publicly recorded and can be viewed by anyone. Once multiple confirmations have been received, changing a transaction would require rewriting all subsequent blocks while controlling the majority of the network's computing power, making fraud practically impossible. Finally, decentralization makes Bitcoin highly secure. Since no single bank, company, or government controls the blockchain, the network is resistant to system failures, censorship, and cyber attacks. Trust is established through cryptographic verification and consensus among participants rather than through a central authority. That's all for my presentation about how Bitcoin works. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Anissa and today I will talk about Bitcoin and the economy from the money perspective. In this presentation, I will explain what the Bitcoin is, the function of money and the difference between Bitcoin and the traditional currency, and how supply and demand affect the price and Bitcoin. First, what is Bitcoin? Alright, Bitcoin is a type of digital money and also called a cryptocurrency. It was created in 2009 by a person group known as Satoshi Nakamoto. Unlike normal money such as the Malaysian ringgit or the US dollar, Bitcoin is not controlled by the government or any central bank. Bitcoin works using a technology called blockchains. Blockchain is like digital record, and it took the store every Bitcoin transaction. It is shared across many computers, making it very difficult to charge or change or hack in the information. So people can use Bitcoin to send receive money through the internet without using a bank. This is one reason why Bitcoin has become popular around the world. Some people use it to make payment, while many other buy Bitcoin as an investment because they have hope its value will increase in the future. Now, let's look at the three functions of money. And first function of money is a medium exchange. This means money is used to buy good and service. Bitcoin can be used as a payment method in some online store and business. It can be used to send money to other countries quickly without going through a bank. However, in Bitcoin is not accepted everywhere. Most shops and business still prefer traditional currency like ringgit or US dollar. So although Bitcoin can be used for payment, is it not widely accepted as normal currency? So the second function is store of value. This means money should keep its value over time. Many people buy Bitcoin because they believe its price will increase in the future. Since there is a limited number of Bitcoin, some people think it's a good long-term investment. However, the price of Bitcoin changes very quickly. Sometimes the price goes up a lot, but it also drops suddenly. Because of this, Bitcoin it can be risky compared to keeping money in the bank. So next is the third function, unit of account. This means money used to measure the value of good and service. For example, when we buy food or clothes, the price are shown in ringgit or other national currency. Although some business accept Bitcoin, most products are still priced in the traditional currency. This is because it's not commonly used as a unit of account. So let's compare to the Bitcoin without traditional currency. Traditional currency is used by the government and managed well by a central bank. It is widely accepted and its value is usually more stable. People use it every day to buy food, pay bills, or receive salary. Bitcoin different because they are decentralized. This means no single person, bank, of government control it. Bitcoin allow people to send money directly to each other through the internet. Bitcoin has some advantage. It allow fast international payment, give user more control over their money, and also has lower transaction fee in some charges. However, Bitcoin also have disadvantages. Its prices are very unstable. Not all business accept, and some countries have strict rules about using cryptocurrency. Because of this, many people still use traditional currency for daily spending as use Bitcoin mainly as an investment. Finally, let's talk about the supply and demand of Bitcoin. Bitcoin have a limited supply. There will only over by 21 million Bitcoin. This make Bitcoin different from the traditional money because government can print more money when needed, but no one create more than 21 million of Bitcoin. In economy, I think when demand increase but supply stay the same, the price usually goes up. This also happen with Bitcoin. If more people want to buy Bitcoin while the supply is limited, the price will be increased. On the other hand, if many people decide to sell Bitcoin, fewer people want to buy it, the price will go down. Many things can affect the demand of the Bitcoin. For example, positive news, more companies accept Bitcoin, or more investors join the market into the increased demand. Negative news, government regulation, or economic uncertainty can reduce demand and cause the price to fall. In conclusion, Bitcoin is a new type of digital money that have changed the money, change the mind people think about our finance. It can be used as a payment method, a store of value, and unit of account, but it still has some limitation compared to traditional currency. Bitcoin offer more freedom and has limited supply, but it's also more risky because its price changes quickly. As technology continues to grow, Bitcoin will likely continue to play an important role in the global economy.
Now, I will explain the benefit and risk of Bitcoin. Firstly, Bitcoin offer fast transaction, especially for international payment. It also has a lower transaction cost compared to the traditional banking system. In addition, Bitcoin provide high security because it use blockchain technology, which is help protect transaction from frauds. Another benefit is financial inclusions, as a people without bank accounts can still access digital financial service. However, Bitcoin also has a several risks. The first is high price volatility, meaning is value can increase and decrease very quickly. Secondly, Bitcoin transactions are irreversible. So once a payment is confirmed, it cannot be cancelled. There is also regulatory uncertainty as a government policy may change. Finally, user may face security risks such as hacking or losing their private key. Now, let's look at Bitcoin in Malaysia. Firstly, Bank Negara Malaysia does not recognize Bitcoin as a legal tender. However, Malaysians are still allowed to buy, sell, and hold Bitcoin at their own risk. Secondly, the Securities Commissions Malaysia regulated digital assets and ensured that licensed cryptocurrency exchange follow Malaysia's law to protect investors. Malaysia also has several licensed cryptocurrency exchanges such as Luno, MX Globals, and Hatta, where users can legally trade Bitcoin. In conclusions, although Bitcoin adoption changes with market conditions, it remains one of the most popular cryptocurrency among Malaysian investors. Overall, Bitcoin offers many opportunities, but investors should understand both its benefit and risk before making any investment decisions.
Next is future of Bitcoin in Malaysia. First, growing adoption. Bitcoin is becoming more popular, especially among young people and tech-savvy Malaysians. More individuals are using Bitcoin for investment and online trading. At the same time, blockchain technology is gaining attention across different countries, and the cryptocurrency exchanges regulated by the Security Commission Malaysia provide a safer trading environment. Second, government regulations. Malaysia has adopted a balanced approach towards cryptocurrency. Crypto exchanges must comply with anti-money laundering and know your customer requirements. These regulations help improve investor confidence, increase market transparency, and encourage innovation while reducing financial risk. Third, economic opportunities. Bitcoin and blockchain technology contribute to Malaysia's digital economy by encouraging innovation in financial technology. They also support faster and lower cost cross-border payments and create new career opportunities in areas such as blockchain development, cybersecurity, and digital finance. Finally, future outlook. The future of Bitcoin in Malaysia looks positive with continued government support and proper regulations. However, its success depends on the clear regulations, strong cybersecurity, and greater financial literacy among the public. It is also important to remember that Bitcoin is expected to complement the Malaysian ringgit rather than replace it. In conclusion, Bitcoin has become an important part of the global financial system and is gradually growing in Malaysia. It offers many benefits including investment opportunities, faster international transactions, and support for digital innovation. However, it also comes with risks such as price volatility, security concerns, and regulatory challenges.
Therefore, investors should understand both the advantages and risks before investing. With responsible regulation, improved public awareness, and continuous technology development, Bitcoin has the potential to contribute positively to the Malaysian's digital economy.